What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the table. We're talking Punisher, The Last Kill, Marvel special presentation. A lot to get into, boys. Buckle up. I am Kev, aka Spider Kev, lovely host of this podcast. I am with my Marine Corps brothers, Jorge.
No. Wait. Hi.
Mike Berry.
One patch, two patch, penny and dime.
and the owner.
I'm just
Baby...
Jose.
Okay.
Just Jose. They did way too much. I'm just fucking Jose.
Jose. All right. Yeah, Jose. Yeah, whatever. So this is our spoiler review for The Punisher, The Last Kill. If you have not seen it yet, put this on watch later. Come back, join in the conversation.
You're definitely going to want to come back later and watch the conversation. I can promise you that one.
Exactly.
I'm going to say it right now. Push pause for 45 minutes because that's all it takes to watch this thing and then play this episode.
Exactamente.
All right. Well, gentlemen, what do we think?
I want to start off by saying the soundtrack to this thing rocked. We had Hatebreed and Danzig, and that was dope on a Disney show. Okay.
This was not a Disney show.
It wasn't.
No, not at all. Amongst many other things, but yeah, we got.
I don't think Disney ever had like a viewer discretion is advised, before it started.
Glenn
Glenn
Danzig of the friggin' Misfits and like solo band. I was just blown away. They started off the episode by that. I was excited.
For me, I want to give an overall review at the end of the episode. I don't want to give one now. I want to talk about the episode. I want to break it down because I've broken it down. Like I've watched this episode 3 times.
Damn, we have my time.
The first time I watched it with my girlfriend Mary Jane. She's awesome. But you always gotta watch it the second time after that. So I always watch the second time to take notes. And for today, I was like, I just have to watch it a third time just to make sure that I'm understanding this episode the way I'm understanding it. That I've stayed off social media for the most part today because I heard negative comments about this show and I didn't want to get sucked into that. Because I just didn't want to get into that because I didn't want to be steered to negative because this show wasn't negative to me at all. And it had very deep meaning, especially with the whole Street Light Confession thing that I'm doing, or is on pause right now. But and Men's Mental Health, which is in June coming up, this episode meant a lot to me, and I want to break it down because there was a lot of Easter eggs too on this episode regarding Daredevil, regarding the Punisher's first appearance in the comic books was mentioned in the episode. So things like that I want to go over.
Okay.
Bird.
George?
I'll wait till the end, but I do want to give a kudos because Kev put me on. They showed the poster for this thing was the Call of Duty poster pose with him with the guns on his back and the 2 pistols. That was a nice touch, Disney. You're also going to get copyrighted for that, so be ready for that. But yeah, I'll save my review for the end because there's a lot to go over.
Okay. All right, I'll save mine too. All right, whatever. Anyways.
Sorry,
let's break it down. No, let's break it. It's fine. Let's just break it down then, shall we?
Break it down now.
Break it down. No, where is this taking place? Is this after season 2 of Born Again, or is it in the during?
I think there's no specific timeline currently that we know. The Russo brothers, Kevin Feige, nobody that's associated with Disney has come out and said when it happened. This happened, I would think, beyond the chaos of Daredevil because you could hide all this crap within everything that was going on in Manhattan and in Hell's Kitchen. That you could hide this in what seemed to be K&A in Philadelphia. Honestly, it looked just like K&A.
Yeah, it did.
It looked like underneath that L. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was like, that's K&A. But some other part of New York, probably the Bronx,
Little Sicily,
whatever.
It was Little Sicily.
So for me, that's where my head goes. I could be 1,000% wrong, But for right now, that lives rent free in my head.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely sometime when all the commotion in Manhattan and Hell's Kitchen was going down. I wouldn't say exactly the end though. I would definitely say when the climax of Daredevil was happening. I would say between episodes 6 and 7. But
That meant a different thing in the 90s. I just want to say.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
we're not in the 90s anymore, okay, Jose? We know you remember it most.
I'm sorry. Got
Feel the
PTSD. Got PTSD.
Hey, so does Punisher. But yeah, I think this has to do with that time when Daredevil was going with Fisk and the city was kind of going in a riot. Because before season 2, it wasn't as bad. It definitely escalated along as season 2 progressed with Daredevil. So we're in that phase. Plus, we also had Punisher at the end of season 1. You know, he was gone. He was MIA. He went to go do what he do. So I'm saying end of season 1, and that's where we got the backstory with what he was doing. With they had the news cast or the news
with the new
episode.
cheese.
Yeah, with the new cheese
The
and
new
how
cheese
he was
family.
going after him. And obviously, that's not going to happen overnight. I mean, Punisher is great at what he does, but obviously, he's going to take his time. He's going to be really methodical about his movements. So I'm saying end of season 1 up until the middle to end of Daredevil season 2.
I think you're about right.
Yeah.
Kev, what was it in Daredevil season 1 to season 2? It was a 6-month time jump, wasn't it?
Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah, so I would definitely plan it somewhere in there.
Because by the end, he does look a little, clean, fresh cut, much like how he does.
He looks
every
like
day.
fresh
He
ass
definitely
Paulie D.
He
He's doing some GTL like t-shirt time, Jersey Shore style.
He definitely went to a barbershop in the hood. That's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, they cleaned them up.
That fade was fresh.
They line him up good.
That beer line was fresh.
Plus, you gotta remember too, it was a big part of the first opening scene, where the Frank was in his house and then he leaves and he comes out and the little kid and he goes, "Mommy, that's him," and she's like, "Oh, I guess he does come out sometimes." So it's got to be after all the stuff with the new cheese went down. He was just kind of like stuck in his room. He never came out. He must have went MIA for a good while.
Yeah.
So you can probably say for a good month or so he was in.
He had to.
Yeah, he was locked in.
If you look at his wall, it would have that whole like conspiracy theory, like maps. It was his whole apartment.
We're definitely
like
going to get into that.
Okay.
We'll definitely get into that because that's part of the storyline and everything.
Yeah.
You were going to say something, Kevin.
Well, no, I was going to say it looks like that he's been hiding ever since he killed the family, like because he's got PTSD.
The war's over after
the war's over. It feels like he has nothing left to gain.
Yeah.
So
his self-worth went down the drain after he figured out he did all what he needed to do.
So with that being said, start the scene at K&A with the bum with Camel, the little fluffy white doggy.
My dude.
And he's just like, he's just chilling, living the best life. Yo, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just living his best life, chilling. Now, Bobby, he got a little fluffy friend. He got him a little snack. And this punk ass bitch.
The doorman slogan. Ding dong.
Yeah, ding dong. And
he ding dong did. Dude, punched him in the face.
Kicked him. Dude.
A USMC veteran that's living on the street as a discarded weapon or a discarded tool of the government. They can't take good care of him. And that dude gave the food he had to his best friend, his dog. Yeah. He wasn't eating. He was making sure his dog was eating. Dude was humming the USMC halls of Montezuma, the Shores of Tripoli song. Hit me right in the feels, dude. Absolutely.
It was
that's how I felt when I watched that scene.
No, I felt the same way, dude. I'm
when he did that to that old man. Oh, my blood fucking boiled.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm just like, and then he takes the dog. And at first he's just walking with the dog. But as soon as he goes in the street, you see the truck just driving right behind him. and you're like, this motherfucker is gonna throw the dog in there. He's gonna throw it at the truck, and sure enough, his ass, he did it. He did it.
If John Wick has proven anything in life to make a shitty villain, you must kill the dog. Nobody's gonna like you, pal. Nobody's gonna think that's okay.
This really was like a John Wick special. Well, especially for a certain scene that we're going to talk about.
Yep.
He looked, and in the one scene, and I'm gonna say this just because honestly, my girl Mary Jane said it to me, and you know, it's a joke, insider. If you know, you know. But when he was walking to the cemetery, his hoodie looked like it was black hair. And I like, he looked just like Keanu Reeves or John Wick.
He did with that far shot, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
I was like, yo, it don't look like a hoodie. It looked like long black hair.
It looked like long black hair. Yeah.
He looked like John Wick.
I actually thought it was a chick for a second.
Yeah, no, well, he buff as shit.
Yeah, that's
chicks get muscles too, bro.
Good for her.
No, I know, but yeah, I was like, yo, that looks just like John Wick. I'm sorry, I only saw the first John Wick movie. I've never seen any other one.
Treat yourself to number 2 and 3. It's definitely worth it.
Okay. Don't fuck with his dog. So we go from that scene to the poor old Spanish man. I don't know if he was Spanish or Jamaican. Like, I was just confused.
I couldn't tell either.
Because he's a Spanish dude in real life. He normally plays a Spanish dude, and he was just cast for DC. James Gunn just casted him 2 days ago for something else in DC. Yes, I saw that come across my desk.
Maybe he's running a Big Belly Burger in the
He's
DC.
gonna be in Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's all I know. He's got cast in Man of Tomorrow.
Nice.
But he's with his daughter, and
that place was out of control, man. They had that guy who was tweaking out in there and just like kind of like running around kind of crazy, and dude's trying to hold his shop together.
And while his daughter's sitting there, and the dude's just going crazy, and his daughter, who's by the way, her name is Charlie.
Yes,
I don't know if y'all caught that.
Yeah,
I knew that would.
I did, dude. I definitely did.
Okay.
That's definitely my daughter's name.
So there's a tie-in to that too. I don't know if you caught that.
No,
but you will by the end of this episode.
All right, I'm gonna stay tuned.
So
I'll keep watching.
There is a tie-in to that. I promise you, there is a tie-in.
Jose was doing homework.
Oh yeah, I love this episode. It's one top 10 for me for Marvel or anything Marvel.
Yeah, this was absolutely phenomenal. This hit me in the feels a couple times, man.
So we get to him, the abuelita, and they're in the shop, and that's before that. We go to John Bernthal, Punisher, Frank, Mr. Castle,
working himself out to death.
Yes, to death.
Bloody hand pull-ups, dude. Holy smokes! I can't do one pull-up, let alone enough pull-ups to make my hands bloody.
Yo, I mean, I'm sure John Bernthal keeps himself in shape, but to be in that shape, get the hell out of here. That dude was swole.
Well, you got to think like he's ripped. Also in the Odyssey.
Yeah, this dude but like he always looks that way, but he never shows his body.
Nah,
he's always got a shirt on.
Yeah, this is the first time he's not that he had the shirt off, but the fact that he's been just like, this is the biggest I've seen him.
He is shredded, dude.
He is huge.
He looks, and like I'm just kudos to him because that takes hard work and dedication.
Mm-hmm.
That man, he is and will forever be Frank Castle. Yes. There will never ever be, for as long as I live in the next 40, hopefully 40 years, there will never be another Frank Castle. For me,
he's the one.
You know, but we go into there and he's doing the pull-ups. And when he's doing the pull-ups, he's working himself to death, and because he has nothing left to do. So I'm gonna rewind it back for 2 seconds. When we first go into that scene, because I'm picturing it as I'm going. We go into the scene where the wall is covered on all these photos, and all these photos have red X's. So those are all the people, the Nucci family. Not only them, everyone who had something to do with the killing of his wife and his 2 kids.
Yep.
So That's why all those people were X'd off. That's why he had nothing to do. That was his only mission. And that comes in the oath that he says in a few seconds. But he finished his mission. He has no commander in chief. He has no one to tell him what to do. He's a lone soldier. He is lost. He looks for discipline. His life is discipline. Karen said it later in the episode. You come home from duty and you go to work the next day. Like, it's discipline, you know? Mike, you look like you want to say something.
He has this discipline, but my man is popping pills and drinking friggin' heavy. And seeing Frank Castle and the Frank
He's
Castle,
not popping pills.
What was he popping?
He's trying to kill himself.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, just seeing him, even where they were there, painkillers or whatever.
Yeah.
Just seeing him do that reminded me a bit of Ben Affleck in Dawn of Justice when Batman he has the painkillers next to his bed and he drinks them. Seeing Frank do that definitely hit me hard because I always see Frank as he's just the machine. He does whatever he has to do. He doesn't take painkillers. He patches himself up and he uses that anger to carry on to the next kill. But that really hit me. And when he started drinking heavy, I definitely felt what Frank was feeling.
The reason why I say that was him trying to kill himself, because he wasn't at war. There was nothing for him to have pain for because he was done. It's been months since he's been done. He's done nothing but sit in this apartment and dwell with this PTSD. That handful of pills were not just to numb the pain. That was to take him away and chase it with a eighth of whiskey.
Right. I buy that. And speaking of my man, even though the people are not dead, he is definitely haunted. And the fact that he had all of his old comrades living and dead haunting him and telling him the things that he is thinking, dude, that hit so freaking hard.
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing. I don't know if Kurt's dead or Kurt's not dead. Because I don't remember him dying. He never died in the episode unless they killed him off, in between then and there.
I think that's all Frank's negativity in his head and all the things.
He's Karen, and Karen's obviously not dead.
Yeah. Well, and which is correct. So so I was a little confused by that one. I'm like, wait, he's not dead, but you just made that comment about Karen, which makes perfect sense. So 2 and 2 added 4. He sat there and he read the oath, and the oath is very telling. And he goes, "It was my choice and only my choice to be a reconnaissance Marine. I accept all challenges involved with this profession. Forever shall I strive to maintain the tremendous reputation of those who went before me, exceeding expectations set down by others. Shall be my goal. Sacrificing personal comforts, dedicating myself to the completion of the reconnaissance mission shall be my life. Physical fitness, mental attitude, high ethics. The title Recon Marine is my honor. To quit, surrender is to fail."
And he uses the knife. He cuts his tattoo
right through the neck.
Right through the neck.
That saying comes into play later on at the end scene when he's with his daughter. Or in
Marines,
the next scene. Yeah.
Marines are just built different.
Yes.
And it is a special type of person to join the Marine Corps. I was almost there myself, but it definitely takes a certain dedication and a certain self-sacrifice to join that thing. And that is Frank to the T.
Mm-hmm.
I know I have family in the military, not the Marines, but I have friends who have been Marines. Marines are the first one into any combat.
First one in, last one out.
Army, if they're the first one in, last one out. If the Army's called in, is because shit is bad. The Marines couldn't get it done and they need extra help.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these dudes are bred different.
Yes, sir.
They're not normal human beings. They are trained just like Frank. This is where this is. Everything has a place, and everything belongs in that place, and that's it. Like, he is very strategic with everything he does. So kudos to the guys who have the balls to sign up to the U.S. military or any military, but Marines especially.
Right.
My hats go off to you guys.
Absolutely. It's getting heavy. It's getting heavy. I'm sorry, dude. This whole episode hit
I'm
me
sorry.
hard, and
Yeah.
the fact that when Frank is arguing with his ghosts, he thinks, "I think I need some help."
Yeah, he tells Kurt that.
Because he
And-
knows, like, he's losing it, and he's losing. He won the war against the Nucci's, but he's losing the war with himself.
Yeah.
And that's
Picture-
common, man. That is super common with a lot of military coming back. They can't come back to civilian life as easily. And the fact that this show really highlighted that, not only with Frank, but only with the guy in the beginning with the dog. How many of those guys have you seen on the street on a regular in real life? That's real
and
life.
you just walk over them.
And you never know. You know what I mean? Luckily, this guy had his USMC hat on, but that's still kind of like a day to day. The guy on the corner on the highway, you see him walking. He may not wear his hat, but he might have been. And so a lot of this is really bringing a lot of the VA stuff to the focal point, not only just for Marines, obviously, but for the entire military of, U.S. or whatever.
Yeah,
I mean,
because we get that a little bit with Steve, Sam, and Bucky,
Very
especially
little.
in Captain America, not Captain America, Winter Soldier or Falcon Winter Soldier. How Bucky is so used to sleeping on the ground, he doesn't sleep in his bed.
Yeah. That's like prisoners when they come home from not to compare the two,
No.
but they're so used to living a certain way that it's hard to go back to reality. And that's why people that are, no one's ever reformed. Like, soldiers are never given the tools properly by our government to come back and have a safe space for them to be okay, for them to transition. They just throw them into the fucking wild. We train you to be killers. We train you to be obedient. Now go into this world that doesn't give a fuck about you. And good luck.
We train you to be killers. We train you to be tactical. We never train you how to be human again, and we never train you how to transition back into society. And I've seen it with a lot of my friends. I grew up right when all the bad 9/11 stuff was happening, and you figure a lot of my friends were in that sort of situation, and some of them came back, and not a lot of them were okay. And seeing this really hits home, and I'm really glad that even a Disney show was able to tackle it the way they did and give the human face. I think this does it really well, and Bad Batch did it really well, where we treat these men and we treat these women and we treat these soldiers like weapons and tools, and we don't give them the respect as human beings that we used to. And it's within the first 10 minutes of the show, I was definitely tearing up because it hit very close to home.
So really quickly before we go on, guys, for anybody who's still here and still watching, and as this show takes a little bit of a curveball, this is what sets Geeks at the Nerd Table and us apart, is that we're not scared to hit those hard to hit topics. So hopefully you stay for it. I know it's Punisher and it's a Marvel comic book and we're getting really deep, but art imitates life. So I hope you guys are going to stick around to the end because we still got a lot to go. So
yes,
we'll get
that
back
we
to
do.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The best science fiction and the best movies imitate and tell the stories that are hard to tell in real life that we cannot express, and I think this did it perfectly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So then we get to the
So-
bodega.
Frank locks up his guns. He locks up his guns because he knows the
Yes,
war's over.
he
He
does.
tears the wall down and he locks up his guns.
And he
And
makes
then-
sure to take that key with him.
Yes, sir.
He makes sure to take that key with him. And that comes back into play later on again.
Yes,
Marvel, Frank, John Berthold did such a phenomenal job with this episode. This was all him.
Mhm.
This was
Yeah.
all him.
He wrote it.
Like this was like in the comic book terms what we call a one shot.
Yes, sir.
This is one comic book that goes nowhere. It literally starts, it tells a story, it ends, and you're done.
Or
you don't
does
have
it
to
go?
buy.
Does it go anywhere?
It doesn't for this chapter in his life.
It can be watched by itself and enjoyed without any
Exactly.
preconceived things. Yes,
that is true.
This
Frank
was a transformation for Frank.
Yeah.
Yes. So Frank goes to the bodega and all the kind of crazy things happen. Sorry, I'm trying to get us back on track.
You got George's uncle there acting like a it.
We're canceled.
Yeah,
I probably got to cut that out.
No, you don't. Like it's a joke. People can't take them. Fuck it.
So yeah, we get the bodega scene, and then the guy kind of freaks out, and Frank kind of does his thing, and the guy says, "I'm sorry, you know, the coffee's on me." Frank pays him anyway and says
He
it's
still pays
okay,
him, yeah.
and he leaves. And I observed Frank's next walk. It was a good 2 minutes of just stuff going wrong in the neighborhood, of Frank's walk of shame, because the Punisher shouldn't walk past this stuff, but he feels his mission is done, and he feels he is not valuable anymore because he doesn't realize how important his code of ethics is outside of the revenge for his family.
It was all one shot. Just
It was dude.
everything's happened between a girl getting hit and beat up by a guy. A cop car comes in but backs out, and then as he keeps walking, he goes. The cop car comes back in the frame, but it's now on fire.
Yes, sir.
That was beautiful on the backside. Like as he's walking, it's just all in the background, and it's like he's the focal point, but it's also him like blatantly just turning a blind eye to everything that's happening.
But
that's why I called Frank's walk of shame.
You still hear like military or like Marine audio stuff in the background.
Because it's all normal.
When he walks out of that bodega, that black car pulls up for the first time.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's right.
That black car pulls up. But as he's walking and he's taking that walk of shame, he also that violence gets taken over by his time at war. And you start hearing people like when they did the gunshot, pop, pop, pop. I looked around. I'm like, wait, nobody looked around. I looked through the TV and nobody ducked, nobody nothing. I'm like, what the, and then I'm like, oh, he's reliving his time at war. It's all the same to him. Like none of this shit bothers him.
No.
Like that's crazy. And like he just walks through it. I don't know. It was just like the way they did that was so good. The way they transitioned that noise, and it was so subtle, and it was so nicely done by them. Like kudos to them.
I could be wrong. That I think it is at that point when he walks between the two buses as he gets closer to his house, or is that's further down? All right, we'll come back to that for sure. Because the next scene is when he goes to the grave of his family. My dude,
I haven't reacted I never really cried after a scene from a Marvel or any comic book movie or just any movie in general in a while. After that whole scene ended, I just immediately got this feeling of wanting to just break down. I had to pause it. I had to pause this thing and took a step back and walked away from my room for 2 minutes.
It was harsh. Again, as a human and as a father, this just hit so hard, man.
Yeah.
With I'll never quit, and he lost his mission, and Daddy come upstairs where his kids calling him just to come upstairs.
That was crazy.
My dudes.
Yeah. The flashbacks were unbelievable.
Which the flashbacks looked like straight out of Netflix. It's just they use the old footage because it's always fun to see.
It was so well done. It was. I just like you, Mike. I'm a father. I have 3 girls. I have 6 kids, and it's to think. I can't imagine his pain.
Yeah.
I can't. Most people say, could you imagine his pain? No, I fucking can't.
No, I can't.
I can't imagine that pain because because my kids get a scratch and I'm like running to them. And I'm like, it's going to be okay. You're going to be fine. Let's tough it up, walk it out, and it's like his family was taken away from him.
And I think the fact that like he sits there and like he has his flashbacks of his wife, and his wife's talking to him in the flashbacks, and he kind of like talks to his son a little bit, but the fact that he's like, I can't feel you, I can't see you, to his daughter. And
Here you go. You're so far away.
yeah, that's
You're
what it
so
was.
far
He's
away.
so far away.
You're so far away.
Baby, come back.
Baby
Baby,
girl.
come back.
Baby girl, you're so far away. And that shit was like, what the hell?
It cuts and he's got the gun to his head, and dude, it
Well, it turns out nice, and then
all
the stuff they start blaming. You see the kids bleeding. You see all the stuff that happened, that them dying. That's all his mind.
That symbolized what was going on in that scene.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When he's going through the gun and he's just holding it to his head, his life is flashing before him.
Mm-hmm.
He starts seeing his kids, and he's just like, the kids in the pool. The little girl
is in her bed with the
is in
book,
her bedroom
my man.
with the book.
Batch, 2 batch.
Yeah, with the book and the bear. Do you remember where you first heard that?
What, the 1 batch, 2 batch?
Yeah.
It was season 2 of the Netflix series of Daredevil.
With Daredevil. Daredevil said, why do you say that?
Why do you say it every time?
Before you shoot.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he was up on the roof, wasn't he?
Yeah, it brings him comfort before he pulls the trigger.
Yeah.
Because it reminds him why he's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just crazy ass callback, dude. To 10 years ago. I don't know how long ago. That's a callback.
It's about 10 years. And
like,
came out season 2.
He did his homework.
Yeah, in season 2.
John Bertha is the man. If he doesn't get some type of award for this shit, this boy deserves his flowers. He never has gotten his flowers. People don't see what he's capable of doing.
They really have him as an underrated actor. He's
so bad.
He's phenomenal.
Like, it's so crazy to me. But like, when he does that, and then he takes the gun. He takes the gun and puts it to his temple, and he starts seeing that. Notice all of a sudden, the kid in the pool looks sad.
Yeah.
And he's like, Daddy, like, what are you doing? He's showing disappointment. He's showing disappointment in his father, who promised him he'll never quit. The daughter starts looking shameful at the dad. The wife can't even look at him. She starts to yell at him.
Mm-hmm.
She's shameful that he's turning his back on everything he did. When he goes to pull the triggers, when you start seeing the girl's blood, and everything like that. To me, that's how that was symbolic to me. Like, that was the point where he started putting his finger on that trigger, ready to pull it before all goes away. He realized that if he does that, he loses all those memories.
Yeah.
And that's when she pops up in front of him. And I'm so happy it was his daughter, because obviously he had a pretty close connection with her.
Yeah.
And that's his real daughter in real life too.
Oh, is it?
No way, dude. Is it really?
That's John Berthel's real.
Oh, man.
Dude,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Awesome.
That just makes that so much harder.
That's amazing for both of them.
Right.
Like, to have that memory in film forever.
Yep.
As the Punisher's daughter in TV and in real life.
That explains why it was like so focused on his daughter. And there's like, look, man, I'm sorry.
All the emotion was real in that episode. When he sat there and he was crying, now it makes perfect sense why he was it felt real. It was his real daughter standing in front of him that he had to say that to.
Yeah.
Wow. Shit. And he had to put a fake gun to his head.
Yes.
And act like he was going to do something.
And she had to say, "Oh, that's a completely different layer,
a whole nother level."
Yeah.
And that's why we're GNT.
Right.
There you go.
Let's bring it back in, gentlemen.
Sorry for the cheap plug.
He ends up one thing we're missing. He ends up putting that key for his cloth lock
Yes.
bag. I've never understood why people put locks on cloth bags, but whatever. We'll keep the honest
Because
people
they're
honest.
unbreakable, son.
Yeah.
hard to break.
Let's see what my box cutter says.
It's in the bag, Mike.
So he symbolically puts that thing on his wife's grave, to show like he's done. He's Punisher no more. And
I'm so sorry.
Go for it, sir.
Remember when he made an oath in the Marine, like, to me, when that memory came back into his head also, like in my head, because the quote is, to quit or to surrender is to fail.
Yep.
And he is never to fail. That's not what Frank Castle does. He's
No,
a Marine.
Frank. As I said earlier with Frank popping pills, Frank is the steadfast, no matter what. Frank goes forth with the mission. Frank doesn't quit. Frank doesn't give up. Frank, as long as there is a breath of life, Frank will go forward with the mission. And I'm glad that they were able to hit that home the way they did.
That was the beginning and the turning point of Frank becoming a hero.
Yes.
And after all that talk, I ain't got time for your cosplay bullshit, Red.
Yep.
But just
absolutely
going back from that scene, I had, obviously, like I said, I had to pause it. But I'm not a dad. I'm not a parent, so I can't understand how these guys would feel, because obviously they're parents of their own. The way I saw it was, it was scary because I kind of saw it. I kind of saw it in myself, because that's where I was a few years ago. And it's scary to think about of how your mind can take you to that dark, dark place.
Absolutely.
And
here's a hell of a thing.
Yeah. And I had to pause it because like I said, I saw myself in that scene because of how messed up he was, how hurt and just damaged he was. And it just, it made me think about everything from you guys to my family to my other friends. Like it took me back to where I was a few years ago and my mindset if I pulled the trigger. Where would I? Obviously, I wouldn't be here right now if I kept going. It
is a hell of a thing, and it is all encompassing and all consuming when that voice in your head is telling you that. And I think they conveyed that perfectly in this episode. And not to jump to the end, but I thought one of the most beautiful things that this show ever did, and one of the most beautiful end credits that this ever did, was they put that suicide hotline up there. And they put the get help hotline up there. Not to jump to the end, but we're in this right now. And the fact that they did that, I think was a heroic and amazing gesture. And I applaud Disney of all the companies in the world to do that. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
So after we'll
go to Manucci. We'll go to Manucci. Frank's marching home again.
So before we go there, he's marching home. That dude looks so like no wonder nobody messes with him. No one would mess with him if you walk by the street. Dude. He look like he ready to kill somebody's ass.
Maybe cross the street if I see that dude coming in his green hoodie. What did you notice? Maybe it was just me, but like he had like a wet mark of like a blood stain from where he cut his
axe. Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking.
I noticed it when Manucci was talking to him.
Yes,
when she was rolling up to his ass, she was rolling dirty.
Hey man, speaking of Manucci, as my fellow person who lived through the 80s here, who played Manucci? What show was she on?
Who's the boss?
Right?
And you might know her as Angela, Tony's crush.
It was nice seeing her. I'm glad she's still getting work.
dude, she's like 100 years old.
Nah,
like,
she's still all right.
She's got to be like 78, something like that.
She's definitely got to be in her late 70s, early 80s.
But she's still in there. She acting like, and she did a great job. But before we get there, we go. Kurt, he comes out and Kurt's in his ear again. Dude, walking around with those demons 24/7 sucks.
It's nonstop, man.
Experience.
Yep.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Having and that's your own self telling yourself you're a piece of shit. And you'll never amount to nothing, and you'll never be nothing, and you'll never live to everyone's expectations.
Do us all a favor.
We've all been there. We've all been there. Your mind will come up with the absolute worst friggin' scenario, and it'll replay it 1,000 times in 2 minutes, and it starts becoming your reality, and it is tough. And that is why I'm so glad Men's Mental Health Month is right around the corner.
Yeah, that's why. Like for me personally, I know we're getting off topic again. It's always my kids. That's who comes into my life, and like. My kids need me around.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know for a fact they need their daddy around no matter how old they get. So,
brother, I will tell everybody here, and I will tell everybody on the internet. I guarantee you, I need you around in life in general. I guarantee it. I believe in every single motherfucker out there in the world, and I believe everyone is significant, and I believe everyone has a purpose, and I believe everyone has something that they must achieve. And if you're not around, you can't do that. Yeah. So I promise I believe in every single person for that reason.
So we get back to Angela Bassett.
Yes.
As Manucci. Angela Bassett. That was her name, right? Angela Bassett?
No, Angela Bassett.
No, Angela Bassett was sorry.
Wakanda.
Angela, what was her last name? Her name was Angela on the show, damn it.
She's just Manucci now, all right?
Dude, she's like, I need your help. Are you surprised that I know your name, that I know where you've been? And she's telling him someone took my whole family. And I'm like, oh shit.
They made it something along the lines of like, they made me you. We're the same. Yeah. And I was like, holy shit. And then like they start showing the credit, the montage of this is my son. He was, the sweet one. This is my son. Like, I don't believe any of the things they said against him. And like, they don't show who's killing them and like slaughtering them. And then like by the time they get to the last one and they finally pull back, it is Frank curb stomping.
They killed her Prince Carlo.
Yeah.
He curb stomped us. Rid out of him.
My man saved 97 cents on that 9mm bullet and curb stomped him.
But Mike, did you realize what she said about her youngest son?
Her prince.
He's the prince.
Her beautiful prince.
Right.
That she believes him.
Never touched anyone.
Touched the little kid.
Like fuck.
Never touched the little kid.
Right.
If you know any Punisher comic, Punisher hates pedophiles.
Yeah, that is the thing. They even touch on that in season 1 of The Punisher.
God bless the Punisher.
Yes, sir.
Drink show me soda.
Kill all pedos.
Yes, sir. But I was surprised that they played it that way, where it was kind of like you weren't. Unless you were like really listening to like the newscasting, which I'm sure you caught up on it after 3 watchings. I want to watch this again so much. But the fact that in the news in the background, they were talking about Frank killing the Nucci family. And that is why the neighborhood he is in such bad shape. And because the family kind of had like an iron mafioso grip on it for sure.
They protected the neighborhood. But she said, when you killed him at 6:47, and then she spits on his ass. She goes, so at 6:47 tonight, I'm leaving I'm just put a nice big bounty on your head, and I'm dropping your location. And I'm gonna be the one punishing or some shit like that.
I'm gonna be the one punishing you. Yeah. You made your bed, now rot in it.
Thus sets forth the perfect Punisher adaptation scenario ever. Just everyone versus him.
She literally opened up the purge, and it was just only against Frank.
Dude,
exactly.
Like that's
And
when I watched that, and I was like, "This is the Purge."
we'll get into that, man. That was amazing. But we get your girlfriend back.
We get Karen
Karen's
Page,
back.
and she's
And
wearing his
Lord,
hoodie that
Wearing
his
the same
wife
hoodie
was
that
wearing.
wife was. Yep.
Mhm.
And dude, I have
Wait,
it right
what?
here. I'm like, is Karen real? And like,
I thought
as soon
so
as she
too.
showed up,
Yeah, I
yeah,
thought
it
she
was
too.
it was tough to figure out because I was like, is she? And then like I was like, look, I was like, she probably don't have his hoodie because I don't think they spent like a night together where she
Dude.
would
I
pick
don't
up
know
the
because
hoodie.
there was a part where they hugged, and he looked like he was going in and kissing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, they got
He's
got
really.
feelings.
Oh no, they
really
were gonna
close.
go kiss. They were gonna
They
go
were.
kiss, and then he woke up, and she
Mhm.
goes, "It's 6:47." But before that, dude, what she said to him, she goes, "You chose war over your family. You came home, and the next day you were out back then." And then she goes, she specifically goes to him. She goes, "Father, husband, daddy, that was a costume." Which goes right back to Daredevil and
Mhm.
Heather's book about costumes. Your
Mhm.
costume is your real self.
And all
And
this
he
is in
became
Frank's head, man.
he
Mhm.
became
So
his real
what is
self
on his
at the
head?
end of this episode. He
Mhm.
became his real self.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
Oh my god. It was like, I'm like, damn, they even carried that over to this. I don't know if it was done intentional. I don't know if I'm just my ADD's kicking into overdrive, but that's what I picked up from that.
Yeah.
But Karen was a
Frank Castle
bitch.
died at that amusement park with his family, and the
Yes, he
Punisher
did.
was born, and the Punisher was realized in that moment. I won't say he's born in that moment because there's a beautiful comic that is called Born, and it is all about Frank Castle surviving Vietnam, where he murders something like 300 Vietnamese soldiers in one night and makes a deal with the devil. But Frank Castle and the Punisher was realized that night that his family died, and the fact that that is his true personality, and Karen points that out to him, is a stroke of genius.
Yeah, it was so well done.
And Frank loses track of time completely, and before he knows it, it is 6:45, and there is gasoline pouring under that man's door, and this is where
Dude,
you
but they're
figure
breaking into
we're 15 minutes into this episode, and it finally kicks in a high octane, pure roller coaster, almost George Miller style, nonstop action.
But he goes on fire, and then he hears the kids scream.
yeah.
Yes.
A couple times it's
Isaiah.
happened. He hears Isaiah scream, but then
Yep.
he hears his daughter scream.
Mhm.
And Frank goes into that mode. He lets out the scream. He jumps out of his door. That his legs are on fire still, and he
Yeah.
just starts killing.
But you're
every single
missing it. That man jumps out from. He jumps into hell at that point. He jumps through the fire into hell and doesn't.
I think he's
stop.
jumping out of hell.
You
He's through
think?
the fire and the
I
flames.
think he's jumping out of the flames. Yeah. Through the fire. Through the
But yeah, either way, man. But yeah, he jumps into it, and that man is back to war. And
Dude.
holy John Wick and the fucking raid. I've been
Dude.
saying it forever. They need to do the raid with Frank Castle, and they did it for about 15 minutes, and it was spectacular.
Yeah, that was. I'm surprised they went so gory.
Yeah, and it was
I'm
Disney
not.
Plus.
You had
Dude,
to. It's
on
fun.
Disney
couldn't.
Plus, though, like
Dude,
I
I
expected
don't-
it, but like not like that.
I don't pay for premium Disney Plus, so it was like action, shotgun blast to the face, bomb blown up, and then it would cut to commercial of like some kids thing for Disney, and like the Devil Wears Prada or something lame, and I'm like, and then it would kick back in, and Frank had his shotgun like ba boom, ba boom, ba boom.
Dude, when he stuck the knife through the dude's neck,
Oh,
like he just goes right to the side. Oh my god! And then he crosses the one dude
With the double
axe
shotgun.
scene, the axe scene, dude. When the dude comes at him with the axe scene and he hits him with the bat and he falls down on and the axe lands on him and the other dude comes and he knocks him and he lands head first right
yeah.
on the dude's chest on top of the axe. and then he
Dude.
walks with the shotgun.
He had that bat for a while, and I couldn't quite like figure it out. Man, I'm like, there's a Batman joke in here somewhere, but I couldn't quite figure out what it was. Yeah, dude, it was freaking intense, and I have to say, Frank Castle is so freaking lucky that everybody in that complex magically had an AK-47, so he
Yeah.
could just constantly.
Dude,
Always.
I ain't never been in a hood where they have 2-story apartment complexes. I'm just saying. That was a fancy ass hood.
No,
awesome.
dude. That's,
Yeah, I
that's
thought the same thing. I was like, what kind of crazy layout is this? That like
Nah.
you have
They
stairs
had
in your
steps.
ghetto ass apartment that is probably like,
That was a little crazy. I've never seen stairs in an apartment before.
Yeah, that's
Straight
what
up
I
had a
was
second
saying.
floor thing. I'm like, what the hell?
dude.
Oh, man.
Has anybody here seen Dread? Not the Sylvester Stallone movie, but the one that came out like 10 or 15 years ago.
Nah, nobody saw it.
People out in internet land, do yourself a favor, take the hour and 30 minutes and watch Dread, because it is this times 100. It is an absolute fantastic superhero
damn.
movie. It is amazing, and it is Judge Dredd working his way up a mega city of like the floors of like wiping out the people, just like Frank Castle is doing. Watch Dredd. It is fantastic.
But you go back to that scene where he's going through the hallways and then he has to jump down the balconies.
Yeah.
And when he jumps down the balcony, you see the old man getting beat up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same old man that's whistling at the end or talking to his wife. That's going to the bus stop.
That's where I feel like so much was cut out of this, because he was picking people off like he knew who was getting hurt. And I feel like they cut out 15, 20 minutes of character development for some of the smaller characters.
I think so too.
And then did you see the visual effects mess up? They did
Yes.
on his face when I had to rewind it real quick. I'm like, what the was that?
Dude, I have it right
And I'm
here.
like, did
It's
they
CG when he
AI
falls on the
his face?
AC. Yep.
I'm like,
When
did they AI only his face?
Dude,
And
that
they
shit
came
looked
out
like
today.
PlayStation 3 graphics. That
That
shit
was
was
so
It was
boy,
bad. He went gray and then he went back to normal.
Yeah, that's
And they said they used VFX to change the face from the stuntman to his face. And that was
his
all
whole
it's used
body.
for.
Screw the face. That whole body was CGI.
my man looked like ragdoll physics done
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah. The whole time.
He
You
got
could
a
see
nice
his-
shot right between the eyes, though.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. He's falling down and shot him. I'm like,
Dude.
he's so
But that
nasty.
that VFX section, I was like, what the hell?
that killed
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that messed it up for me a little bit.
Because you know what's
Seriously.
crazy? John Bertha could have did that. He could have did that. There's no way in hell.
Yeah.
He
I
just-
like
He did
not to like skip to it, but like 10 minutes later, he ended up doing that when he fell off the buses. And I want to kind of like back up. He gets like the standoff on top of the roof, and he ends up falling down the scaffolding.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the
he
dude
falls
like
down-
throws the dude off the roof to like break the scaffolding so he falls somewhere. And I'm like, that's creative. Like, leave it up to crackheads to
Dude.
come up and be creative as fuck.
Did that not remind you of Spider-Man
A little
when
bit.
he hit the buses?
My bad.
Yeah.
Oh, my
I
bad.
thought of Spider-Man right away. I'm like,
Hurt
that
so
was the scene from
bad.
Spider-Man, and he's just bleeding. The blood's just pouring out his damn mouth. Did
And,
we
like,
we skipped the part in the bus before he saw Kurt when he saw himself
Yeah, when he
Cross
saw
by
himself as
himself.
the Punisher.
as the
That is
Punisher. Yeah.
true.
Okay, we can pass that though.
Yeah. And then we kind of get Manucci where Punisher sees her and like makes eye contact, and she's like, "Oh shit, he's alive still. I need to get the fuck out of here." So she takes her rascal and she puts that thing in full forward mode.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Mm-mm.
She couldn't beat a curb. She thought she was gonna be Frank Cancel.
Yeah, like I don't know who is faster, like her or Dr. Evil in his chair. Like she was so slow, and like
then her bodyguard picked her up and put her in the car, and they're driving in the hood in a Maybach Bentley. Like it's ridiculous.
yeah,
But that was when
Frank has the ethical call of, do I go after her or do I save the family and do
And he
the right
starts
thing?
Hearing
And
the kid again.
Frank does the right thing
he
because it is
decided to
Frank
become
Castle.
a hero.
Yes,
He
sir.
decided
Yes, sir.
he heard his daughter's voice calling to be a hero.
Yeah.
You don't,
Absolutely.
yeah, and that was so funny because that's the part where I remember him saying to Red, he goes, "You want me to put some cosplay shit on and stuff like that?" That was the
My
part that
man's-
reminded me.
And speaking of, he's still fighting in his hoodie, so he's not even like geared up
Dude,
right now.
He's
I
all
do
blood
not
up.
have time for your
He's been
candy ass
shot in the
hero shit.
shoulder.
Yeah, you got it, Kev. You got it right there. You got it.
That's
And he goes
funny.
into that bodega and he starts taking people out. And then out of nowhere comes this weirdo dude, no shirt, 1,000 tattoos.
Oh, that wasn't Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, all jacked up on steroids.
That was Flea plus like friggin' Mr. Clean. That dude was
Dude, he
Was
stabbed him
Mr.
with a 12-inch poker right
Yeah.
through the goddamn shoulder, an ice pick.
Yeah,
Whoo, that hurt.
absolutely.
Sorry, he got his back
Dude.
all up in his neck.
And like
And the shit out of him.
I was called back to that original Thomas Jane Punisher movie when he is fighting none other than Kevin Nash. And
Big
did
Daddy
you
Cool
know?
Diesel.
Did you know that when Kevin Nash gets stabbed in that movie and like he smiles when he gets stabbed, it was a friggin' real knife and Kevin Nash actually really got stabbed? They screwed up and didn't use a prop. And Kevin Nash, being the friggin' Wolfpack NWO motherfucker
That's
that
right,
he
baby.
is. Yep.
Wolfpack, baby.
Exactly. Smiled about it. But
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
But it reminded me of that. And then like Frank's fighting him, and then we get our second John Wick reference. And Kev, what happens?
He kills the guy not with a pencil, with a pen.
No, we got to rewind back.
What did I
We
miss?
got to rewind back and get back into the bodega. After he kills Flea.
Yeah, that's the
Right?
dude he stabbed with the pen.
I know.
Okay.
He was surgical with that shit, by the way.
And the fucking
He
Hate
made
Breed
sure
starts playing.
he get
Hate
all
Breed
the
on a
arteries.
Disney show starts playing, dude. And
He got all the arteries on that dude with a goddamn pen. There ain't no big pen in the world strong enough to rely that many stabbings. It can't.
you
even
don't use
break.
pilot pens, do you, bro?
No, too poor for pilot pens. But so in that scene, okay, the little girl walks up to him.
Yeah.
That little girl reminded him of his daughter.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He believes that there was a part of her with him,
What was that girl's name?
Charlie.
Charlie.
What was his daughter's name?
Lisa.
I don't know.
What was his son's name? Charlie.
Was it really?
His son's name was Charlie. Punisher's
My
son's name was
goodness.
Charlie, and his daughter's name was Lisa.
I'm astonished I didn't pick that up.
Yeah. And that's
Wow.
why saving that girl meant so much to him. And that's
Yeah.
why he chose, when that girl called, he heard his daughter. But that girl also has his son's name. So it's like a 2-for-1 for him. So when he heard his daughter, or he heard her cry, or dad saying, Isabella, he heard his daughter crying for help. And that's when he ran over there and he did his business. But I was wondering if anybody caught the fact that her name and his son's name were both Charlie.
No, I did not. I did not catch that, and I'm absolutely surprised.
Yeah. And then after that, he goes back to the gravesite.
Yeah, well, he gives the bodega owner like as he's like slitting dudes' throats in his like fucking sandwich like freezer. He's like slitting it like, no, you got to get rid of that now. Like
killing
things-
somebody
things-
with a pen.
things
This
ain't
is a
going to be the same.
message to all you baristas. Be a little nicer. Give somebody a free cup of coffee someday. You never know. He might save your fucking life one day. Just
That's a
saying.
thought.
Right?
Coffee only
Exactly.
costs 5 cents. Give him a free cup of coffee, damn it.
But yeah, we end up going back to the grave, and I have it written right here, dude. And it is like I think maybe you were there with me when he's talking about his daughter as he's putting the rose on her grave.
Yeah. Yep.
He says,
My
I love you,
dudes.
baby girl.
Yep.
Dude, what's up with the roses in Daredevil and then roses again in this?
I think they heard this one guy on the internet named Jose saying something about like they want the rose. Danny's gonna be the rose, and they're like, you know what?
They lied to
Nah.
us. But
Exactly.
dude, he's just like, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going.
And Frank makes his choice to not only be the Punisher and to punish those that are wicked, but to do it with a purpose.
But he
And to
finished
do
the
it-
episode with Papa Bear, so I am.
One batch, two batch,
One batch,
penny and
two
dime.
batch, penny and a dime. Yeah, I love you, baby girl, till the end of time.
Yeah.
Right, man? Like, come on.
We got I love you 3000. Now you got I
Yeah.
love you to the end.
45 minutes, and this episode had me choked up and cutting onions 2 or 3 times, man. On top of having hate breed. But like,
I truly feel like this guy Punisher literally killed 100 people in this.
Oh, I want to go
Absolutely,
back
like-
and count. There's got to be some. It should be on Google by now. I'm sure a fellow nerd counted for us. Thank you, by the way.
he absolutely killed more people in this than the hallway fight in the prison in Daredevil
Dude.
season 2.
This episode, this one shot, and that's exactly what it was, a one shot. The fact that people, from what I've heard and what I've been told, have been negative, that it was underwhelming. It was
Before we get to that,
underwhelming.
brother, before
Okay.
we get to that, let's finish out the episode because we only have like 2 minutes left on the episode, and even that hit harder than it really like felt it should have. But we're walking down the street, and we got the I don't even want to call him a punk because punk is too good of a term for that man. That man is a sleaze piece of crap.
He's a
I don't
crazy
even like
boy.
him. Yes,
You gotta
and
watch out for the crazy boys.
he's a crazy boy, and he's rocking my man's hat. And Frank yells, or the guy yells at the Frank and says, "Yo, devil dog, that cover is mine." Marine Corps people refer to themselves as devil dogs, and they do not call them hats. We call them covers.
Mm-hmm.
My dude does not give any mercy to this
No.
piece of shit, dude.
Yeah.
Says the hat is not the only thing he took.
And Frank is
And he throws that axe. Yep.
And he looks back at him,
Mhm.
gives Frank the okay to pull the trigger.
Yes.
Yeah. And before that, just a little nerd thing that I caught, because I know Grandpa was telling his boo thing. She goes, remember the time is at 8:27. That was 8:27 was a callback to Punisher's first appearance of Spider-Man 129.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it has something to do with the months. In the 8th month in comic book, because comic book, their year starts in August. So the 8th month is February. February 27th was the day that that issue was released, Spider-Man
What do you mean?
129.
The 8th
Good
month
That's why I
is
love you,
August.
man.
No, the 8th month in comic books. The year starts in August for comic books. The 8th month is February for them.
I love you, man. And that's
Oh,
that insider shit that I did not even catch. And
good stuff.
not any podcast out there, not many podcasts out there have a comic book store owner. And thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. No, it's just I love this. I love sitting here nerding out and being lost in movies and TV. It is really for me my therapy to my issues. It's where I escape. So
Same, dude. And if I could get insurance to pay for not only my therapy bills but my podcast equipment, it would be a beautiful thing. But
Anyways.
this episode, it ends on that, and I was like, why did it end? It felt like it was like really just starting to kick in, and that's where I feel like Disney was Disney, and they shortchanged John Bernthal and what he could have had. And I don't know if this was a backdoor pilot to a Punisher TV show or a Punisher movie, but it definitely needed another 30 minutes.
If this doesn't get John Bernthal an Academy Award nomination for Best Acting, best starring role,
this was amazing.
He was amazing in this. He showed so many different levels of his acting skills and what he can do and the emotion he can bring out in people and just portray in a scene without even saying a word.
Mm-hmm.
It was well written, it was well executed. I love the show, except for that VFX glitch. I know it's not what people expected. And the internet has been chattering, no one's ever happy, no one ever gets what they want. And this is why you don't listen to rumors and you don't set expectations. Because when you have expectations, you thought this was going to be a tie-in to Spider-Man or Doomsday or some other dumb shit. But it wasn't. It was a standalone project that was featured one character alone, and people aren't satisfied with that because people are never satisfied.
I think it does tie into Spider-Man in the sense that this realigns Frank with his mission, and it can show why he is running the mission and pulling his own brand of justice in New York the way that he is. When Spider-Man shows up and says, like, I don't think you should kill people, Frankie boy. But he's in there with the van and doing his thing and maybe not agreeing with Spider-Man. John Bernthal came into our zeitgeist through The Walking Dead as Shane, another comic book character that is quite complex. And as a man who had the first issues when they first came out, Shane was an incredibly complex character, and he played him perfectly on that. And it is a shame that we didn't get to see more of him in that role. But I am so glad he decided not to shy away from the comic book roles and picked up the Punisher. Congratulations, man.
What always gets me with him is he was on a late night one time, and it was right after he was announced that he was going to play Punisher in Daredevil. And he was telling, I think it was Conan, Late Night with Conan, but he was like, yeah, I went to my local comic book store and I just grabbed a whole bunch of Punisher comics. And I went up to the register and the guy was like, I know who you are. I know what you're doing. You're not reading this. You're not reading this. You're not reading this. This is what you need.
Yeah, he gave Frank Miller's Punisher.
Yeah.
Punisher Max series. That's all you need. Yeah. There are some amazing. There's even one. There's a comic where he fights Wolverine in the Punisher Max series. The dude shoots Wolverine in the junk with a shotgun and then runs him over with a steamroller. It is fantastic. I love it. And then he shoots like Wolverine. So he shoots Wolverine's face off, and he's like just like the skull. And then he like shoots his dick off, and then he runs him freaking steamroller. It is amazing, dude. And I loved every minute of it.
It's funny. I listened to someone talking the other day, or maybe it was earlier today, and he goes, Punisher doesn't have a rogue gallery.
Nope.
And I started thinking about it, and he goes, because he fucking kills them all.
Yes. There are on either end of the spectrum here. We have Punisher who ends his villains, and we have Wonder Woman who ends her villains. There are just the two true warriors that don't take no for an answer and do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. This episode needed to be 15-30 minutes longer. I hope we don't have to wait another 5 or 10 years outside of Spider-Man to see John Bernthal come again as the Punisher.
We need a full season, a continuation of this.
This is your hour and a half movie that you spend $50 million on, and it makes $500 million. Disney, pare it down, make the $50 million movie with the Frank Castle, street level, raid style. no cosmic, no super Earth defining things. You have Frank on the mission, and you continue it like that, and
They're
you make
setting
your
it up
money.
with Daredevil. They're setting it up with Jessica Jones, with Alias
Absolutely.
being back, the Defenders possible after Daredevil season 3. Daredevil get his own movie after season 3. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
There is
I'm very
with
hopeful.
Daredevil being in prison. Spoiler alert, but I hope they bring Frank back for season 3 of Born Again, and they use his amazing. I think it was the Thunderbolts, or who was it? But Frank had his suit with a red skull, and I hope he comes back and paints it red for like the for Daredevil, and he comes back with his red skull for Daredevil. That would be amazing.
It'll be red, but it'll be just covered in other people's blood.
Either way, we win.
But George, what did you overall think about it, bud? Since we're about to wrap it up.
So I thought it was great. I did feel I was one of those guys that Jose was talking about that didn't feel like it hit all cylinders for me, but it goes back to what Mike was saying. There was missing information. There was stuff that I felt like was just rushed. But again, it was fantastic. It gave us Frank at the highest caliber of Frank ever. The goriest Frank, the most tactical, cool, freaking John Wick style Frank. And what else can you ask for? You know what I mean? And to touch on all of those details about, VA and, his family grief of losing his kids, his wife, that's a lot to handle in a 45-minute episode. Could it have been an hour and a half? Absolutely. And it's a missed opportunity, and definitely shortchange John for the actor that he is. He deserved an hour and a half movie or whatever. He deserved more. But to say that we are going to see him in Spider-Man, fantastic. There's no reason why we shouldn't see him in Daredevil season 3 and beyond. John's a fantastic actor. I actually really dove into John Berthol's character, not in what was it, The Walking Dead, but in The Bear. He was fantastic in The Bear with what's his face? I forget his name. But yeah, The Bear, that TV show was.
I heard that was a good TV show.
Oh, dude, it's so high. It's definitely John Berthol when it comes to like the high energy, like family style stuff. Like there was so much animosity in that family, and it just I don't know. I felt like my blood pressure was rising every time I watched the episode.
is that the one that's about a restaurant or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it really John Berthol's in that?
I didn't know he was in it.
He's the brother that passed away. Again, spoiler if you didn't see it, but yeah,
I didn't see it, man. Come on,
it's the guy from Shameless, and
yes,
it's Ben Grimm is in it too.
Moss
Right?
Backrack's in it too.
Yes, Evan Moss is in there as well. But that
I heard the dude, the main actor's an a-hole.
He is, but he's fantastic in that.
Okay.
Show too. Oh, he's so good. Like I kid you not, if you watch the first season, your blood pressure is gonna rise because of how they argue. Like the freaking like the blood boils in your body, like you're in the middle of that conversation, but it's the high energy of the restaurant business, so it kind of helps with the case. But again, John Berthel, fantastic actor. And we need to see more of him in the future in the MCU.
Nice.
I will say, yes, we were shortchanged on time on this, and some things were cut. I would much rather them cut the Nucci family stuff and exactly what they were doing and some of the character development of the people who lived in that neighborhood, so that we got the important stuff that was the veterans situation and the men's mental health struggle. And I think the fact that they had that and they were able to keep that in there was much more important than that. And the Sophia's choice of figuring out what needed to be in there and the fact that they kept that, I think was the best situation that we could get. Yes, this needed to be 30 minutes longer. Yes, this needs to be a theatrical franchise. Yes, we need to share this with 100 other people in the theater on IMAX. We need to get the 4D when Punisher shoves an axe in someone's neck and the water sprays on your face. We need that. Disney,
so cool.
Disney, $50 million, make the movie, make $500 million. Guaranteed. This was phenomenal. I am absolutely thrilled by this. I want to watch it again. It was important in all the ways it needed to be. I appreciate this, and I'm happy that they gave John Bernthal the chance to make the tell the story he really wanted to tell, and they kept the important parts to it.
Yeah. I pretty much agree with most of you guys. What you guys said, it definitely deserved more time.
Yeah.
I highly recommend you watch this again. This deserves a second watch. Like, especially after if you watch any podcast about this show or you get any information, watch it again with these extra notes. Because I'm pretty sure I'll watch it again and catch even more stuff. But yeah, it was just a great watch. I enjoyed it very much. I think it was one of my favorite things from Marvel, honestly. It's in probably my top 10.
Okay.
I think it's better than Punisher season 2 as a whole.
I agree.
Yeah.
And it's crazy
Yeah.
because it's 45 minutes to about 8 hours.
Yeah.
Dude, this thing was shorter than an episode of Daredevil.
Yeah. But
Blow
I'm
your
not gonna
mind.
lie. Disney sat there and said, "Hold my beer. I'm gonna give you everything you want from Frank Castle," and they gave it to us in 45 minutes.
You want it rated R? We got you rated R.
And that's my thing about Disney. I don't want them to shy away from shit like this. They need to do this more often. There's more of a mature audience outside with the MCU. And if you shy away from these opportunities, you will not get the fans to react how you want them to react. If they would have gave us a PG-13 of this, I would have been like, what was the point? You know what I mean? They need to stay true to the comics. They need to stay true to the character.
I am no longer worried about PG-13 Daredevil showing up in Spider-Man.
In Spider-Man, thank God.
That whether they show him doing these things or not, which they probably won't, but the fact that I know that Daredevil or that the Punisher is out there throwing axes in the back of people who are running away sets enough for me. Kevin, what were your final thoughts?
I mean, just everything you guys were saying. I enjoyed it. I appreciated the highlights of men's mental health, and also what U.S. soldiers come home and what they deal with on a daily. I think John Bernthal is really like high on the U.S. Army and like the Marines. Like he's very high on that side to the point where he understands that what they go through and what they go through when they come home is real, and it's serious.
If you haven't seen my episode of Streetlight Confessions with Doc, you should see that.
Absolutely.
Doc was a sergeant medic in the military, and he went through Vietnam and a bunch of other stuff. And it gets very graphic,
wasn't it?
That was a two-parter.
Yes, sir.
It was very. He spoke his truth.
Yeah.
We definitely do not
listened.
appreciate the sacrifice that these men make, these people make, I should say. And the integration back into society is never easy. And I feel like John Bernthal took that and put that into the Punisher in a way that was never expressed in the comics. And I think no other character can experience that quite like he does. We have Steve Rogers, who's out there of the greatest generation and experienced World War II and came back a hero, where we have Frank Castle, who came back the way he did.
Broken.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, fantastic episode. I recommend the second, third watch, maybe even a fourth if you're really feeling up to it.
I mean, it's only 45 minutes, so
you can knock out 3 showings in 2 hours. You know
exactly.
But going back to what I said, I enjoyed it. I wanted more a little bit. I wish this was a little longer. But I think this is a hit for Marvel again. I truly think we're on the real right step with Marvel now. I truly believe that.
Back.
I think it's a brilliant idea that they are focusing on like the crazy Marvel Doomsday stuff, but also here's your street level, and they're bringing the right characters back for the street level, where they're roping Spider-Man into it, and we got Spider-Man, Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage. Spoiler alert! And we're really running the street level.
Yeah,
of this.
it's what we said a long time ago. Like they're going to be branching off, and I think they're really starting to slowly do that now.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But I have a theory for you guys. Okay, Punisher's a brand new day, right? Okay, so what if 86's character is Jean Grey, right? It's just a little thing,
She is.
Yeah. What if she gets Punisher to protect her because she could shut off that PTSD side of his brain?
That would be amazing.
I think Punisher needs that PTSD side of his brain to do what
Can
he
she
does.
help me out a little bit?
Right?
Her thing is, you help me, I'll take away your pain.
But
So
I don't
kind of
think
like
he wants
Xavier
that pain
does of
gone.
Wolverine. That's
I don't
exactly
think-
what.
He
Go ahead, I'm
doesn't
sorry.
want that pain gone. Why
I think
would
he
that
yeah.
drives him?
It's
He
just a
needs-
thought. It's just a thought.
But it is also exactly what that asshole Xavier does to Logan to manipulate him. Because Magneto's right, not Xavier. Sue me.
He did it to Jean Grey too. He did it to Rogue. He
Anyway.
did it.
Yeah, right?
Just saying. I said it before, and you guys looked at me like I was crazy. I was like,
'Cause you are
I was
crazy.
like, Professor Xavier's a villain.
He
And
is.
you at the end of one episode, I said, if you didn't know Professor Xavier's a villain, y'all looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, no, he truly is a villain,
He's a dick.
Yeah.
and he looked like one too.
Okay.
Oh,
Anyway.
no.
Anyway,
He looks like a limp dick.
Throw it back in, Kev. You can do it. You can do it.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed. A quick shout out to you guys because we officially hit 400 subscribers.
Joe.
Holla.
400. We made it to the 400 mark. We thank you so very much from the bottom all of our hearts. We appreciate you guys for wanting to take the time.
Oh, wait a minute. Somebody just
And
dropped off. We were back.
Ah,
at
shit.
No, we're at 401. We need 2 people to drop off.
Okay, we're still good.
But we appreciate you guys so much. We love hearing from you guys. We love the fact that you actually want to listen to our dumbasses and enjoy our conversations. So here's the 400 more.
Thank you. I don't have nothing to drink, my friend.
I'll take a double shot for you, bro.
I'm thirsty as hell.
I got a
Follow
little
us.
bit left.
Follow us on all of our socials, Geeks and Nerd Table Podcast. So Instagram, TikTok, you name it. Follow Jose, Baby Gorilla Comics, Pendel PA.
Website coming soon.
Yeah.
Are you real? You get a website, homie?
Yeah, we have a website on the works right now. It's
Nice.
it's up right now, but you can't order from it yet. We're busy putting inventory and pricing and everything else into it.
There you
But
go.
Homie,
That-
I'm proud of you every freaking day. I
we'll
promise,
be
man.
up within a month, fully running and operational, and we'll be able to ship nationwide, which will be
Hell
lovely.
yeah. Oh,
Nationwide
but
is
you're telling me I
on
don't
your
have to go
side.
to your store no more?
Kev, you live 5 minutes away. Shut up.
It is cheaper to Uber than it is to ship that shit, homie.
I'm
Yes,
just
it is.
kidding. I feel like Jose needs to see me once in a while, anyways.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know about
Yeah.
that.
It'd be nice if I get a visit every once in a while. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
He only
But-
visits me once a year.
But until then, everybody, we will see you guys back at the table. Peace.
See you soon. Adios.